And if you look around these days, there seems to be a Dr. Pepper craze. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. If you drink Dr. Pepper, you're a pepper too. Be a pepper, drink Dr. Pepper. Be a pepper, drink.
Hello YouTube, Computer Kid 1416 here. Today I'm going to be doing a video of my late 70s, early 80s Dr. Pepper machine, made by the Cavalier Corporation. This machine dates from, I don't have an exact date code on it, but it's either late 70s or early 80s based on the fact that you can see the Be a Pepper logo slogan there, which ran from that time. So yeah, I got this thing from a guy in Dallas. He was advertising it for, I think, $350, and I wasn't able to test it out at the time because the coin mech doesn't work. So, which that's no problem. I was able to wire it for free vend, as I'll show in a minute, but it does mean that I got a good discount. I got it for only $250. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good deal, and let me tell you, these things are really, really heavy. So if you want to get these for yourself, do what I did, which is get a trailer and put it on that, because you don't want to put this thing on the flatbed truck because it's going to be a pain to get off of it. So, yep, this thing was a nightmare to move, but the good news is it's here in my garage now, and it should stay here, you know, theoretically until I eventually move. So, yeah, it's not going anywhere, that's for sure. But yeah, I just thought, I just kind of got interested in these things, you know, about a year or so ago, and, you know, given that I was starting to look for a house, I thought, oh, it'd be a good chance to go and get one to put in my new garage. So, yeah, I found this on Facebook Marketplace, like I said. And yeah, I wasn't really picky about what I wanted, but I, you know, Dr. Pepper was kind of always in the back of my mind, as I kind of wanted one of those because I love Dr. Pepper. I mean, I'm from Texas after all. So it was just lucky that I ended up finding this one. And you know, these things, you know, you see them from time to time. I mean, most people buy them to use for businesses, but I think it's even cooler to have one in your own house. Just, you know, I do drink a lot of soft drinks in cans, so I figured this is a great thing to have. You know, it's much more fun than just having a standard refrigerator. So yeah, enough talking about it here. Let me get this off the tripod and I'll show you guys more about it. So as you can see, it's illuminated by two fluorescent lights back there. And like I said, really, really cool Dr. Pepper logo there. I believe you could take this off and replace it if you need to, but as you can see, it's in pretty good shape. You know, a little scuffed here and there. The machine in general is just, you know, a little scuffed here and there, but I consider that to be normal wear and tear, and you know, I'm not one of those to restore things to perfect condition. I think, you know, things in, you know, having moderate wear is actually gives it character. The coin mech, which I mentioned, does not work. I did wire this for free vend, but it looks like it was set to 75 cents last time someone used it. Now the person that sold it to me has a mechanic shop, and next to his mechanic shop was, I can't remember what kind of business he said it was, but this was there next door, and whenever that business closed, he got this for free. So he said he remembers going and buying a Dr. Pepper from this machine when it was still used. It's got two chutes here, which is kind of unusual. Most vending machines only have one. So depending on what drink you get, it'll either come out of either one. Right here is the old bottle opener. This thing is it's set for cans, but I believe you can also get it to work with glass bottles. You know, the PLV bottles, as they call them, the shorter ones. So what I did was, it doesn't have the actual can opener portion. So what I did was, I very meticulously wired a button here. See, it's even hard to see, that's how disguised it is. But yeah, there's a little button wired there, and when you push it, I won't do it right now, I'll demonstrate in a little bit, but that gives you free vend. I'll show how I wired that up as well. There's a coin return there, the Dr. Pepper logo. I'm sure those numbers are still current, I would assume. You notice this drink label here is more faded than the rest. That's because this one's actually the original Dr. Pepper logo. and I was scared to take it out because I don't want to. They're made of kind of a plastic, and they've gotten. I noticed a few of the others that came with it kind of started to crack, so I didn't want to mess with that. I figured it's going to be Dr. Pepper anyway, so I figured I might as well just keep it in there. That's really, really cool. The rest of these logos I made myself on my printer. You know, not the best in the world, but you know, I can't complain. It's had a house party here a few weeks back, and you know, kind of asked everyone what they wanted and threw these logos together real quick accordingly. So yeah, everyone was really impressed with it. Now these two, Pepsi Zero and Dr. Pepper Zero, are the ones I drink the most. The rest were requests from the party people. But yeah, you can see it's got 6 selections. And you'll notice that this button is actually bigger than the rest. That's because, and it just took me forever to figure out, you actually have to have, it's got 2 slots for it rather than just one. And so you can put double the drinks. And so that's for, you know, your most popular drink. I mean, Dr. Pepper would have been in this case, but you know, I've seen Coke machines that are similar that have a big button like this. And yeah, so basically you have to have both of them filled in there, so for it to even work. So that's why it's bigger than the rest. And that took me forever to figure out because I was wondering why it wasn't working. And it turns out you need to have both filled for it to work, like I said. So yeah, that's just kind of a way to give you some extra drinks there in your most popular choice. So let me go and open it up here. I've got this little bowl here. Now this would be a key, but there's no key in there obviously because I use this at home. Yeah, it just rotates like this. It's pretty tight, you know. It's rated for outdoor use, of course. So I've got to show the sides of it here. That'd be a pepper. Very, very cool machine, like I said. I love having this thing in my garage. It just adds a lot of character, you know, rather than just having a standard fridge. Cool logo there. You can see, like I said, it's scuffed up a little bit from normal wear and tear, but for the most part, it's in really good shape. So I'm really impressed. You can see the original model here. If it'll focus. There we go. See, it's model 35, 75, 98. I believe 75 is the amount of bottles it can hold, and 98, if you used bottles, and 98 is the amount of cans you can hold. I believe that's how you read those. Someone in the comments may know better than me on that, but yeah, it's the original logo. And then there's some information about the Dr. Pepper vending company. Yep. Alright, so here's on the inside. You got the back of the label. Like I said, you could change that if you wanted to. Like I said, I've seen Coke machines that are very, very, very similar to this, if not exactly the same model. So it probably is the same. It's just talking about what coin mechs you can use in it. Let me show you here. Behind this door here, there's the coin mech as well as the light where you can change out the labels for the drinks. So this thing's kind of hard to do with one hand. There we go. This is the coin mech, which like I said doesn't work. It's an old mechanical coin mech. Now, I think I've seen online, because it uses the standard Jones plug right there. I think I've seen where you could swap this out with like a standard electric coin mech from a little bit later. But there's no need for me to do that, like I said, because I, of course, use this on FreeVend because it's in my house. So I figured just leave it as it is. Now, speaking of that, so this is the Jones plug here. Now, I've wired that button that I mentioned earlier. Let me show you guys how I wired this. Yep, so the black and the red wire there go to all the way to the button down here. And then that, you can see I got a black jumper there. So anyway, if you guys want to wire FreeVend for yourself, that's how you do it, right there. Just thought I'd mention that. close this up here. There we go. And there's the fluorescent tubes. It gets pretty bright in here. And down here we got the compressor unit, which, you know, knock on wood, seems to work pretty well for its age. I don't know if it's ever been replaced or not. He didn't mention. You know, of course, he didn't own it for a while, you know, until just recently, so he doesn't know if it's ever been replaced or not. But yeah, he said I cleaned it up quite a bit, and yeah, seems to keep drinks pretty cool. So much cooler than my fridge ever did. So I'm impressed with it. You know, maybe eventually it might have to be replaced, but you know, I'm gonna hopefully ride that out as long as I can. Got a little Tupperware piece there to catch some excess condensation. There's supposed to be a drain pan there with sponges to soak up the water, but I don't have that with it, so I just use that for now. I'll eventually get something more permanent. Yeah, that's it for that. Now let me show you guys the heart of it here, which some of you watching this may have never seen what the inside of a milling machine looks like, so now you're gonna get to see it. So it's got this very heavy duty seal here to keep the drinks nice and cold, and I can tell you it is very cold in here, so it does a good job with that. Now here's the drink slots here. Now these little metal things here in the back, you can see there's different selections here, different teeth there. This goes back and forth, so if you wanted to use PLV bottles like I said, or cans like I did, you know, you can calibrate it accordingly, and I have these calibrated perfectly. You can see it holds 2 slots of each. I believe, I could be wrong, I haven't ever filled it all the way up, but I believe it can hold around 36 cans or so of each drink. So that is really, really good. In addition to this thing being really cool, it's also really practical because like I said, I do drink a lot of soft drinks, and my friends do too. So I can fill these up, you know, mostly all the way with each drink, and you know, I don't have to go to the grocery store again for several months. So it's really, really practical to have one of these just because of how many drinks it holds. So anyway, I've got this is what I was mentioning about the Dr. Pepper. You gotta have both of them filled up. Now, one thing that's, let me pull out my flashlight on my phone. I was going to show you guys something here. So if you're wondering how it knows if it's sold out, because if you noticed, I forgot to mention, some of these have lights lit. That is because that's how you know it's sold out. Of course, more modern machines will say sold out when lit, but in this case, you just have a light there. So how does it know when it's sold out? Well, I'm going to pull out my flashlight here. So you'll notice in each cam here, there's a little lever there. It's going to be hard to do with 2 hands, but when this lever is pushed down, again, it's hard to do it with 1 hand, sorry about that. You see that click? When that's held down, the drink is considered in stock. Now right now it's depressed because I don't drink 7-Up unless I'm hosting a party, so I don't have it filled right now. So that's how it knows if it's sold out or not. If you'll notice on one like Dr. Pepper, for example, my flashlight back out. If you notice on the Dr. Pepper one, you can barely see that it's hard to get my camera in there, but it's pushed down, so it knows that there's a drink in there. And that's what was confusing me for the longest time, because on the #1 selection, which is Dr. Pepper in this case, you have to have both levers suppressed, pushed down there, for it to work. So when I first got this thing, I filled up just the first one and it wasn't working. So I thought there was something wrong with it. But it turns out you have to have both pushed down for it to work. So you can see what I did here is I'm never going to have, you know, that many Dr. Peppers in here. So what I did was I just kind of split the difference there. So that way it doesn't consider itself sold out. So yeah, anyway, that's just if any of you have a machine like this and were wondering why maybe one of them wasn't working, that may be why. It's because you need to make sure to fill both of them there. Yeah, you can see kind of how these things are loaded. Probably should stop putting away my flashlight because I'm trying to show you guys this here. Kind of see how these things are loaded. See, they're front. You don't have to load them front to back, but that's just what I've always heard works best. So yeah, see, these things are loaded front to back. See, these are the two that drink the most, so they're fairly low. And then the sparkling water over there is completely empty. So this actually gives us a good chance here to show you how this works. You can see those little levers there. And unfortunately, I don't have another person with me to demonstrate, you know, so there are other people on YouTube, if you're interested, that, you know, show these things actually in action. I'll put some in the description if you're interested in this stuff like I am, but basically, those things will move to dispense one drink at a time. So, yep. Like I said, you can, there are other people that have shown those things in action. I just don't have another person with me right now to do that, but yeah. So, the only other thing I wanted to show here, and I'll have to put my camera down for a second, is I wanted to show you guys the, first of all, I got some original labels that came with the machine. So, you got A&W root beer. See, they're kind of a plasticky material, so that's why I was paranoid about pulling that Dr. Pepper one out. So, yep, we got root beer. We've got a generic cola. And we've got Dr. Pepper. Now, I would absolutely love to find some new old stock versions of this. And if anyone knows where I could possibly find some, let me know. I'd love to find some more of these. But yeah, there was also a 7-Up in there that broke, unfortunately, but it cracked. But yeah, so those are some original labels that came with it. What I was going to do now is pull this door off here so you can see what the gears look like. So hold on one second here. Alright, so here's what the gears look like. You see they're little wheels that have notches, and each time it completes a full rotation, it'll dispense a drink. So, and then you can see the switches down there. Now, the only problem I'm having with this machine is that sometimes the Diet Mountain Dew will double vend. And I think I saw another guy on YouTube with the same issue, and he was saying he cleaned these little metal pieces here, and that fixed this issue. So hopefully, especially since it's only happening immediately, hopefully that'll fix the issue. But anyway, let me go ahead and put this on a tripod here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it bends. Now, I'll have to be fast because I don't want the drink to pop on the ground. That would be, I've had that happen before, and I'm sure everyone that does this has, but it's not something I want to deal with, so I'm just going to try to catch it real quick. But yeah, let me, it should be a good angle there. So you can see you're looking at the right two, those are the ones that I'm going to dispense there. So let me, like I said, do this in a hurry. Okay. And then I'm going to do it once more just in case I lock the camera out. Like I did. That was perfect. Okay. Alright. Well, let me put these drinks back in, and we'll come back and I'll just give a final demonstration of each drink in action. So, I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the tripod set back up and got it all closed up. So now let me give a demonstration of all the selections. Now, another thing to note is that, and it's more of an issue if you're, using these for business as opposed to just in your own house, but just one thing to note is that sometimes when you do the first selection of a drink, you have to do what's called priming it, which is it kind of drops it down into the bottom, and then the next time you do it, you'll be able to get a drink. So just keep that in mind if you're ever wanting to do this for business, possibly, if you don't want your customers mad at you because they don't get a drink. So make sure whenever you stock these things, you go ahead and get at least one drink from each one so it can, prime it. But anyway, yeah, let me go ahead and get a few drinks here, show you guys kind of how this works. So, push that button in there, and I'll start with the Dr. Pepper. Alright, got myself a Dr. Pepper. I got a little cup here and do a water. Go, got a Dr. Pepper. Now let's just get a 7-Up out, so we'll get a Diet Mountain Dew and hope it doesn't double bend. And it didn't double bend, so maybe it just needs to be cleaned a little bit. Alright, next we'll get a Pepsi Zero. Dr. Pepper refrigerator. So anyway, yeah, like I said, just this is just kind of a fun thing to play around with, and it's a lot more of a conversation piece than just having a refrigerator in your garage. So yeah, I really like it. It's really done well for me, and yeah, I'm hoping to keep it running for as long as I can. So anyway, if you have any questions or want to say anything else about this, just let me know in the comments. But otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. And yes, I am planning on coming back with a computer video next time, I promise. I just been so busy I haven't had time to even set up my computers, believe it or not. But I'm planning to do that probably this weekend, and expect more videos in the future. So in the meantime, I will see you guys later. Bye.